We'll now begin with an opening statement from Coach Fran McCaffery and then go to questions. Use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first.
Hey,
Coach
Tony,
McCaffery, please
I can do it. It's okay.
opening statement, and then we'll go to questions.
I will say this: we just beat a really, really good team. Grand Canyon really impressed me immediately when I started watching them on film, and they impressed me even more tonight. They compete, they share the ball, they move the ball, they defend, they rebound. That is a really good team, and Bryce has done a terrific job with that program. So, consequently, I'm incredibly proud of my guys for how they performed. We got off to a good start. I think that's always important in this tournament. And, they made multiple runs at us, and we were able to continue to be successful, at both ends. So, really proud of my guys and looking forward to playing Oregon.
Now we will go to questions from the media. Use the raise hand function to indicate you want to ask a question. Our first question is from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Fran, Scott Docterman from The Athletic. This team held opponents to 28% from three coming in, yet you guys were able to hit almost 50%. You had 10, and then Luka was 4 or 5. How were you able to kind of overcome what their strength was defensively, and was that part of the strategy to bring Luka out to have him shoot some of those shots?
Well, I think it starts with, they got to focus a lot on Luka when he is in the low post. So it gives you opportunities to drive and kick. So we had a bunch of guys make some, but a lot of times they don't come up on ball screens, and so we wanted to try to find Luka on the perimeter. But we've done that, Scott, as you know, every game. I mean, we move him around. We put him on the perimeter, we put him in the high post, we put him in the low post. We start him low and take him high, and we start him high and take him low. And that just makes him that much harder to guard, and it creates opportunities for other guys.
Our next question is from Don Doxey.
Don's on mute.
We'll see if we can go back to him. Our next question is from Michael McCleary.
Fran, your bench has been great all year, but tonight it seems like they really gave you a big lift, especially in the first half. If you could talk a little about that.
Yeah, no question. They were tremendous, both on the glass and offensively. We got production, from Keegan, from Patrick, from Joe T, from Tony Perkins. But we got effort defensively. We got effort on the glass, and it really comes down to getting quality minutes and being able to establish depth to win a game like this against a really good team.
Our next question is from Chad Leistico.
Hi, Fran. Chad Leistico from Des Moines Register. You guys had Luka in foul trouble in the first half. I guess just proud of how you guys dealt with that.
Chad, I did not hear that question.
Yeah, it was a bad echo. I'm sorry. Hopefully it's better now.
It's better now. I got you.
Okay. When Luka Garza gets 2 fouls, it didn't seem like there was any panic from anybody. Is that the way you saw it as well?
Yeah, Chad. We went small. We mixed in some zone, but our activity remained intense and connected. We moved the ball offensively, and we got a lot of guys attacking the rim and scoring. So we were able to survive, with him being on the bench for, 6 minutes. So really proud of that, bench production.
Reminder to the media, please use the raise hand function to ask a question, and when called on, please give your name and affiliation. Our next question is from Michael McCleary.
Hey, Fran, when you sent Keegan out early in the first half, what were you expecting to get out of him? Did he exceed?
I pretty much expect the same thing from Keegan every game. He gives you rim protection. He gives you an athlete that runs the floor. He can score. but he also can make a three. He's not afraid to take a three. But I think he's doing a lot more off the dribble, making plays for himself and other people. But most importantly, he's just not a mistake guy. He doesn't panic.
Our next question is from Chad Leistico.
Hi, Fran. No echo. I don't hear an echo. Joe Wieskamp led your team with 36 minutes. Obviously, we talked to you last week about his ankle. It seems like he and CJ were full go. Was that kind of the case tonight?
Yeah.
How do you think they looked?
And that was kind of the mindset that we had after the Illinois game, is to just, they practiced a little bit, but they maintained their conditioning and they got a lot of shots up, but they didn't go the whole time. They're to the point now where they're veteran guys. They trust their bodies, they know their bodies, and they work very closely with Brad Floyd, our trainer. So I thought they were both terrific. I didn't notice anything at all that slowed them down.
Our next question is from Mike Kloss.
Mike Kloss, Cedar Rapids Gazette. Fran, did you have any concerns at all about rust, given it was a week between games and the lifestyle you're leading, and you obviously showed none?
I think that's a legitimate question, Mike, but I will say this. I didn't think we'd have it because I thought we practiced really well. It was one of those things where, the guys are in the hotel, they're not leaving the hotel. So I think they actually look forward to lifting, and they look forward to going to practice and getting out and getting shots up and, engaging with each other, and then going to meetings and watching film. And I was impressed, and I said just a minute ago, but I was impressed with their professionalism in that regard.
Our next question is from James Crepia.
James Crepia at the Oregonian. Fran, I'm not sure if you're aware at this point that Oregon has, in essence, moved on by default through the no contest. Your initial reaction to knowing your opponent now at this point, and I know it was 2.5 years ago in that matchup at the Garden, and they're a very different team, but your initial impressions of a Dana Altman matchup zone defense.
Yeah, it's Dana's somebody I've known and respected for a long time. An excellent program he has built, not the first time, so I think both teams are a lot different. Yeah, it seems like not that long ago, but, in the basketball world it is. A lot of different players, and, we'll go to work on, preparing for them. Obviously, I haven't really focused on them. I was only focused on Grand Canyon. My assistant coaches have been locked in there. So, we'll spend tonight and tomorrow getting ready.
Our next question is from Mike Reeves.
Fran, I know that you have to focus on your team, and that's obviously reasonable. However, is there a way kind of get your thoughts on what you originally thought when you heard about the VCU situation in the Oregon game, if you don't mind?
Yeah. To be honest with you, I just found out about it like right before I came in to talk to you guys. So I didn't really have a lot of time to process it, but I mean, think about it. It's one of those things where for one full calendar year, it's just deal with whatever happens. I feel bad for VCU. In some ways I feel bad for the Oregon players. I bet you they wanted to play. But, it's just the circumstances, and we'll both move on, and we'll play each other in the next game and be happy to be here.
Our next question is from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, Fran, in the first half, well, really in both halves, they had between 8 and 10 offensive rebounds, but you came out strong after halftime and put together a really good run. What was kind of the message regarding the rebounding, because they do have such a size and prolific advantage in some ways there, and then just how were you able to kind of get going at the start of the second half to really extend the lead?
They're a really good rebounding team. I mean, that's reflected in the numbers. Not many times do you look at a stat sheet and see a team plus 10. And in the first half, you're right, the second shots are really, what was a difference in the game, because we shot it pretty well. So, we felt like, we got it to 11. We wanted to have a good start to the second half. and we wanted to do a better job rebounding the basketball, on a number of different levels. It gives them fewer opportunities, but it gives us more opportunities to run. So, that's a team that has size. We had a little foul trouble, so we were smaller, but I thought our guys really fought.
I think there's a speaker there.
Yeah.
Thank you for participating today. We are now joined by Luka Garza and will begin the press conference. Use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Our first question is from Chad Leistokow.
Hey, Luke, Chad Leistokow, Des Moines Register. Were you guys, it just seemed like a methodical performance. Did you guys kind of relish kind of the crowd that was facing you a little bit and kind of the upset bid that was coming?
I don't think so. I think they're a really good team with a lot of weapons, and they got a great size. They know how to get the ball inside, and it's tough to guard when they're raising all the wings, and I'm supposed to front, so it makes it hard when they throw that over the top pass. So I think throughout the game, I think for us, we needed to do a better job getting stops. But with me getting a foul trouble in the first half, it kind of stopped us from being able to get a bigger lead in the first half. But we had a lot of guys really step up. But I wouldn't personally call it methodical. I think we definitely got to be able to be better on the defensive end. Especially in the second half. I think we got a really, really good lead, and I think we kind of relaxed a little bit on the defensive end and started trading baskets. And they started making some shots, and we were able to pull it out. But I think we got to definitely do a better job on the defensive end in the second half.
Our next question is from Mike Kloss.
Luka, with not having a game for a week and being in the hotel as long as you've been, how do you account for being as crisp as you guys were coming out of the shoot?
I think we've been working really hard. We're really glad that we have the opportunity to be able to get in the gym as much as we are. We have practice every day, and we have shooting times and different things like that. So everybody's been really locked into getting our shots up, staying ready. We pushed ourselves to stay in shape and did a lot of conditioning drills, especially during this week, because we know, when you take a week off playing and you don't do anything in terms of conditioning, you can lose that a little bit. So, I think we did a really good job, and you could see none of us were tired at all, even after a week break from games. So I'm proud of our guys for being able to do that.
Reminder to the media, please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. And when you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation. Our next question is from Scott Docterman.
Yeah, hi, Lucas. Scott Docterman from The Athletic. This was one of the best teams in the country when it came to defending the three, yet you guys were able to hit almost 50%. And in your case, you were 4 or 5 from 3. Did you see that as a potential matchup going in, that something you could exploit, just simply because they were going to want to come out to hit you on the three-point perimeter? And how, across the board, how good of a performance was this shooting from the perimeter?
We definitely talked about it going into this game, that we wanted to be able to kind of drag their big man. He's really, really good, but we wanted to be able to put me in pick and pop situations, because we know, especially even myself as a big man, it's really hard to guard a pick and pop. So I think I tried to do that early, and I think that kind of messed them up in terms of their ball screen covers. And then J-Bo was allowed to get some pull-up threes, and I think we did a really good job screening and doing different things and pushing the pace throughout the course of the game to find our shooters some open shots. And I think we definitely shot it well. When we can shoot it even better, and obviously we can clean up some stuff on different things.
Our next question is from Mike Reeves.
Look at Mike Reeves with AP Radio. When there's a big upset in this tournament, it seems that the team that pulls the upset gets off to a solid start. How important was it that you guys did start as quick as you did with the quick 11-2 lead?
I think watching all the games yesterday, we got to learn some lessons from other teams in terms of not being able to come out as good as you want to. So we wanted to make sure that we, threw the first punch tonight. And they're a really, really good team, and they were able to punch back. And they've held their own against a lot of great teams. Colorado, Arizona State, a lot of teams. So we knew what we were facing, and we knew they weren't just going to back down. So we had to continue to keep fighting. I think we threw another punch at the beginning of the second half, but we went, we had kind of a stretch there where we weren't as great on the defensive end, and that's what kind of led to this game getting closer than it maybe should have.
Our next question is from Michael McCleary.
Hey, Luka. The bench helped you guys kind of recover a little bit early. Did you notice anything different from the bench today than you see in the normal?
Can you say that one more time? You kind of broke up halfway through your question.
Yeah, sure. The bench helped you kind of recover a little bit towards the beginning of the first half. Did you notice anything different from the bench than you see in the normal games? Especially.
I think we've had that mentality all year about next man up, and I think our bench has been so great for us throughout the year. And I think especially when a couple guys started to get in foul trouble, you saw Keegan Murray, Patrick McCaffery, Joe Toussaint, Tony Perkins. So many guys come in and really step up and help us get this win. They did a terrific job. They came in with a lot of energy, and I think we all know those guys can do that, and they've done that over the course of this year. And you look at our best wins, those guys have great performances off the bench and are helping us out a lot. So it's really, especially when we don't have, Jack Nungy, who another key piece of the bench, and you get another guy to step up like Keegan Murray on the inside. It's really great for our team.
Our next question is from Chad Leistico.
Hi again, Luka. What have you observed, I guess, just in this week in the hotel that leads you to believe you guys, are ready to be here a while?
I think we're really focused. I think everything we do, every meeting, every film session, everything, you can tell this team is really locked in, and we know what we have to do to be able to move on. This tournament is survive and advance. You got to be able to, be focused every single possession of every game. And I think, to be critical of ourselves, I think in the second half we lost that a little bit on the defensive end, and we're going to pick that up and make sure that we don't do that on Monday.
Our next question is from Mike Halas.
Mike Halas, Cedar Rapids Gazette. Luka, you're playing Oregon Monday. They got a bye of sorts. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Honestly, with this COVID year, you got to be able to expect the unexpected. We've seen it all year, conference tournaments, different things like that. This stuff is going to happen. Teams are going to get, sick. It's what happens, and you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to be ready for anything, and I think Coach McCaffery has been preaching that all year. So for our group, I don't think it bothers us at all. We're going to come in locked in and be able to, go out there and give our best.
Our next question is from John Titel.
John Titel from hoopshd.com, Luka. You talked earlier about the three-point shooting. As far as your own stats, I believe that obviously all year you were fantastic, but in your past 4 games in March, you only made 2 of 14, and then tonight exploded for 4 of 5. Is it something that teams have been focusing on you recently at the three-point line, or were there better looks tonight, or were you more confident? What was the difference?
I think, honestly, if you look at all those threes, I didn't take a bad three. I was just missing some. And I think, the great thing about being a part of this team and program is, they were preaching so much confidence into me going into this game. They were telling me before the game, the whole game plan was for me to pick and pop. And, for me to feel that after knowing that, I've been on a little cold streak from 3, it gives me tremendous confidence. So, I know I'm a great shooter. I've worked so hard at it. And I think in a couple games, besides the Wisconsin game on senior day, in the conference tournament, I think I got a little gunshot from 3. I missed my first couple. I let myself think about it. And, tonight, I went into this thinking that, I wasn't going to do any of that. No matter, I'm going to take a great shot every time down, and if it misses and makes, I'm going to do the same thing. And obviously, I missed some shots I could have made tonight, but I kept battling, kept going, and that's my mentality every single game.
Our next question is from James Crepia.
Luka, James Crepia with the Oregonian. Just to jog your memory, I realize you're fresh off a game, but you played Oregon 2.5 years ago. They're a very different team now than they were at Madison Square Garden that night. But what do you, in terms of initial reaction, do you remember from their matchup zone and how you played them against their defense in that game?
I think, for us, it was a big weekend for us in terms of the New York 2K Classic as a program. And we're coming off of 14-19 in the year, and we were really focused on being better on the defensive end. So when you look at that game, I think we definitely did a really good job defensively throughout the course of the game. And obviously, they had a lot of really good players, and some guys that are still there, but obviously a lot of them are gone now. But we know the type of style of play they have, and we have a couple guys who are back from that team. So we're excited to start watching some film and get ready. We know they have some incredible guys. You talk about Duarte and LJ Figueroa, Omarui, who we saw at Rutgers. I played against him, and a lot of guys have played against him. So we know they have a lot of really, really good players. So we're excited for the opportunity to play such a great team.
And our last question will be from Mike Halas.
No, I'm sorry. I don't know why you called on me, but I'm good. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on your win tonight. Please raise your hand if you have a question for Joe Wieskamp. Go ahead, Mike Kloss.
Joe, why was there no signs of rust? The way you guys bolted out of the shoot tonight.
I mean, we just prepared all week. Obviously, having a week off, you could see us coming out a little slow, but we were mentally locked in each and every day in practice and in our film sessions and things like that. So we know the importance of these types of games, so we came out strong.
Tom Kakert.
Joe, I'm guessing you guys were expecting to go back to the hotel, watch Oregon, VCU, and kind of settle in, get some film work done. Now it's when did you guys find out about the Oregon thing, and kind of what's your reaction to playing them?
Yeah, we found out after the game. Obviously, we were focused on winning the first game at hand, but it's definitely a weird situation. Obviously, on one hand, they're not going to be as tired because they're supposed to play a later game and quicker turnaround. But on the other hand, they haven't taken the court yet, so we just have to approach it like any other game. Like they're the next team on, up in front of us. So we've had one of our assistants coaches scouting them since we found out we could potentially play them. So I know that he'll have us ready and we'll get locked in for them.
Chad Leistico.
Hey, Joe, we talked to Luka a little earlier, and he was kind of a little bit disappointed, I guess, in you guys' defense in the second half. Did you find some things to correct, I guess, in this win? I mean, it did seem like a good win, but he wasn't as happy with it.
Yeah, obviously, a win in the NCAA tournament is great, but for where we want to go, we need to clean up some areas. And I know that both in the first and second half, McLaughlin killed us in the first half with offensive rebound putbacks. In the second half, they were kind of, shooting it well, hitting mid-guard in the post. He's obviously a great presence in there, but I think we need to lock things up better defensively as the games, as teams get a little bit better as we move on.
How'd your ankle feel? Fran talked a little bit about it, but just did you get a lot of rest this week, or how'd the recovery go this last week?
Yeah, I mean, it was a combination of rest, treatment, doing some strengthening exercises, but I was out there pretty much every day in practice and preparing like it was any other week. So my ankle feels good, and I'm going to continue to keep playing and give it my all.
Matt Rendazzo, go ahead.
Joe, obviously most of you guys have been in this situation, and that's a perk coming into March. But to get off the start that you had and to be 11-2, does that settle things down? And obviously that's the way any team would want to start a NCAA tournament game. Talk about the focus, I guess, early on to come out and make sure you guys get off to a good start.
Yeah, definitely. That's been a main focus for us all season long, is getting out to a good start. I know looking back a couple of years ago in the NCAA tournament, we got off to 2 rough starts in both those games. So we understand the importance of getting that lead early, and I think we did a good job of sustaining their runs and maintaining the lead throughout the game.
Joe, I got a chance to chat with your dad before the game, and I asked him, you're so calm and stoic almost on the court. I asked him how he was. He said he's anything but. Obviously, you don't notice that while you're on the court, but obviously having your family, and I know how close you guys are. You know what you put Dad through during a basketball game?
Yeah, I mean, he just wants the best for me. I think sometimes he gets a little too uptight about it and too nervous, but I know it's all out of love and just wanting the best for me. So just thankful for all the support that I have. I think I had 10 family members here at the game today, so just very thankful for their support.
Other questions for Joe?
The lighting's not the best in here, but that's kind of the best we could do. So sorry about that.
All right. Keegan, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us. To those of you in the media, Tomorrow's time for the Zoom is 9:30 a.m. And you can go to the link on our Iowa basketball page on our website.
That's Central Time, Steve.
What's that?
That's Central Time, just make
right.
sure.
Yep, 9:30 Central Time tomorrow for Zoom. Okay, we'll go to questions for Keegan Murray. Go ahead, John Bonenkamp.
Hey, Keegan, what was it like for you to get an NCAA tournament opportunity? And it seemed like you were able to make the most of it tonight. What was it like for you?
Yeah, no, just when you're growing up watching the tournament, you always want to be in it. I was grateful to have this opportunity today, and I just tried to make the most of it. Shots weren't falling for me, but I just wanted to make every play I could. Just wanted to do the little things to help our team win, and just getting the first win of hopefully many really helped us with momentum, I think.
Tom Kakert.
Keegan, you missed maybe your first couple, settled down. Did anybody say anything to you to kind of settle you down, or did you just kind of relax on your own?
Yeah, Connor kind of brought me to the side and just told me to play my game. He said shots will fall at some point, just do everything you can. I think by him pulling me to the side really helped me the rest of the game calm down. I ended up hitting a shot, and I just ended up playing a pretty good game. And I think just him being a leader that he is really helped me throughout the game.
Please raise your hand if you have a question for Keegan. Go ahead, Mike Kloss.
Keegan, you had 4 blocks, and you've been a shot blocker all season. But is that something that you considered yourself when you got to Iowa? Where and how have you refined that part of your game?
Yeah, I think that's just being relentless on every possession. Whether it's helping Luka out if he's one-on-one, chasing down a block in transition. I just think that just throughout the season, it's just become a natural instinct for me to read people, read tendencies, and just what they're going to do. And I think that's helped me throughout the season. I think I've taken advantage of it these last couple of games.
Any other questions for Keegan? All right. Thanks, Keegan. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.